Coming up, new tariffs imposed on materials could affect production in the United States.
And the halted production of an American coin could reduce wasteful spending in the U.S. A look at this and more on News Channel 12.
In foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning.
Tariffs on steel and increased tariffs on aluminum. Imports that are steel and aluminum now have a 25% tariff on them. Many are
now worried about items that could be affected by this increase and how the prices could go up.
President Donald Trump says imposing a 25% tariff on all steel and aluminum imports into the United States is a part of his plan to make America great again.
We'll bring back industries and we'll bring back our jobs and we'll make America industry great again.
The decision will undoubtedly have a big impact on industries like automaking, aerospace, and oil production. But whether the impact will be good or bad remains to be seen. Canada's Chamber of Commerce responded saying the move is wrong on many levels. Canada produces about a quarter of U.S. steel imports.
We don't need it from another country. As an example, Canada, if we make it in the United States, we don't need it to be made in Canada. We'll have the jobs. That's why Canada should be our 51st state.
The tariffs are to be imposed with no exceptions or exemptions. China's foreign minister previously said in a statement that no one wins in trade and tariff wars. China is the world's largest steel producer. Trump is also receiving backlash from within America's borders.
Tariffs are going to increase the price of everyday goods on all Americans, which is the antithesis, the opposite of why they may have voted for Donald Trump.
I'm Sherelle Hubbard reporting.
President Trump announced that he wants to stop the production of pennies. The president released a statement on social media about the wasteful spending and has ordered the U.S. Treasury to stop the production of pennies. He stated that the cost to make the penny was too much for how much it's worth. The U.S. Mint reported that it cost 3.5 cents to make the 1 cent coin. In 2023, more than 4 billion pennies in the U.S. Mint were in circulation. One of the contributing factors include the high cost of metals such as zinc and copper. Now, Alec, this is kind of insane to think about in a way because we have not seen the discontinuation of a coin in a very long time.
Yeah, I remember how much they would talk about the penny being more expensive than 1 penny growing up in elementary school in history classes. And it's really, really interesting to see where they're going to go with this. Are pennies going to disappear from your wallet in the future? Are they not going to be around? This reminds me a lot of when the $2 bill went out of circulation and think about how hard those are to find nowadays.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of those things that have gone out of circulation, like the $2 bill and the solid dollar coin, are now like collector's items. And I kind of wonder if pennies are going to be that collector item again, which good news for me. I have a lot of pennies. When I was a kid, I did have a fascination with collecting them. So I had $20 worth of pennies.
$20 worth of pennies?
Yes.
Man, you need to take those over to the Kroger, put them in the Coinstar, and get yourself a $20 bill.
Absolutely.
But moving along, the Senate has been working through President Trump's nominations for his cabinet since day one of his administration. The Senate has confirmed 16 out of 22 nominations, with the first being Marco Rubio on day one for Secretary of State, and the latest being Robert F. Kennedy Jr. for Health and Human Services just yesterday. Many more to come, as Linda McMahon's hearing has just started for her to become the head of the Department of Education. We will have a breakdown on all the recent nominations later in our show.
Linda McMahon's Senate confirmation hearing began yesterday for the Department of Education. President Trump has been outspoken about his plan to dismantle the department and hopes that McMahon will help in the efforts to gut the department. He said, quote, "I want Linda to put herself out of a job," end quote, at a White House press conference February 4th. The department cannot be dismantled without congressional approval. Trump, along with Elon Musk and the Department of Government Efficiency, are working to cut it down while they wait. There have been many protests around the country in response to Trump's plan, and many other political figures have called out for people to fight back against the dismantling.
That public education is the backbone of American democracy. It's where all of our people come together to learn and to grow. And our job is not to destroy public education, it is to significantly improve it.
United States Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said that NATO membership for Ukraine was unrealistic and that they should prepare for peace negotiations if they want international troops. President Trump also said he and Russian President Vladimir Putin had agreed to begin talking about ending the war on Ukraine. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky's office said Zelensky and Trump also had a phone conversation. Zelensky posted on X, formerly known as Twitter, that he had a meaningful conversation with Trump and discussed opportunities to achieve peace. Other NATO allies said Ukraine joining NATO needs to stay on the table. Hegseth insisted that NATO should end any future military mission helping keep peace in Ukraine. Hegseth also called for European nations to provide more of the aid to Ukraine.
I don't think that this door to NATO was ever truly open. I've always said that. We wanted it very much, and we were constantly told about the open door policy. And you know that we know the policy of the United States of America, the previous administration's policy for all these years, and the current administration with regard to NATO. Nobody is inviting us to NATO yet.
Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear declared a state of emergency due to predicted heavy rains expected to hit Saturday until Sunday. The National Weather Service says significant flooding is possible as well as isolated flash flooding. The Commonwealth is predicted to get 2 to 5 inches of rainfall on top of previous rainfall this past week. That will likely contribute to the flooding. Nick, what are we in store for exactly? Because this is sounding a bit crazy.
Yeah, see, our soil's already saturated, our rivers are already high, and so we're looking at quite a bit as we go in. So here's what we got for you right now. It's 38 degrees right now. The sun's out there shining. Winds are about 14 miles an hour out of the east. We're still feeling that coolness that we've had recently. Our clouds are starting to move in as the predecessor was to come this weekend. And as we look across our area right now, we can see temperatures in the low 40s, upper 30s across the area. Still pretty chilly out there. And here's what we got for you. We got a couple clouds moving in through today. Saturday at 2 a.m. we're going to start to see this rain start to roll in as we see all this heavy rain come in all the way through Saturday and then into Sunday. Early Sunday we may see a snow shower as another cold front works in. And we may see a spotty shower or a flake of snow and stuff like that. What we got for you, we got the love forecast for you to start this Valentine's Day. Heavy rain with your flooding forecast and going into tomorrow and Sunday. And next week we're going to have some major cold for us. Back to you at the desk.
Thank you, Nick. When we come back, we'll discuss whether students find cheating acceptable.
And an expert joins us to talk about what your true love really wants for Valentine's Day.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Camping buddy. Okay, you guys ready?
Dude, I thought you were driving.
I thought you were driving.
Oh, I never said I was driving.
I definitely can't drive.
Okay.
If you're high, just don't drive. It's illegal everywhere. If you feel different, you drive different.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Okay. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
The rodeo was back last weekend at the Ag Expo Center. Reporter Megan Geisler saddled up for a closer look at what went down.
The rodeo has been a time-honored tradition for decades in America, and today we got to experience the rodeo one last time as the final days of Lone Star Rodeo were held here at the Western Kentucky University's Ag Center. We got to experience some great events such as barrel racing, roping, bull riding, and many more. The rodeo is fun for all ages, and it was a great experience.
The first main event of the rodeo was saddle bronking, where cowboys ride out of a chute on the back of a bucking bronc and try to stay on as long as they can. Jack Smithson took home the win with a score of 81 points. Next up was calf roping and breakaway roping, where contestants tried their best to rope a cow in the least amount of time. After a brief intermission, the rodeo finished out with team roping and a crowd favorite, bull riding. Be sure to check out the rodeo the next time it comes to town, or check out their other locations at LoneStarRodeo.com.
Thank you, Megan. No college student is complete without a laptop. But with advances in technology, do the negatives of computers in the classroom outweigh the positives? Computers. Everyone's got one. But are they really necessary for a quality education?
I think sometimes it's more efficient, like I can take notes maybe easier than I can having to flip through a bunch of pages and everything.
I feel like it's easier for me to take notes, and it's also easier to have the notes like right in front of your face, or the PowerPoint, or whatever the teacher's using, because sometimes you can't always see it.
A University of Alabama study showed that 65 to 75% of university undergrads admitted to cheating at least one time.
I'd say anywhere from 70 to 80%. Computers and phones as well are used as cheating tools nowadays, and that's not really beneficial to students.
And many attribute these numbers to the amount of information modern technology provides.
If I have a question about anything, I can look it up very quickly. Everything's more accessible on a computer. It's like things like ChatGPT and all those different things on the internet.
A 2024 survey conducted by the Digital Education Council found that 86% of students are already using artificial intelligence tools like ChatGPT in their studies. This has left a divided response from professors on how to tackle this new age of cheating.
I have a few professors who do mind, and they just tell us to put it away while they're talking. But I think most of them understand that if people are on there doing stuff that they shouldn't be doing, or they're not listening, at the end of the day, that's their grade, so they don't really care.
I don't think they do. They just kind of say, don't do it.
I guess just go back to paper and pencil. I mean, that was really just the hardest way to be able to cheat.
An ethical question that only time will be able to answer. For News Channel 12, I'm Alec Fouch. Now, Ashlyn, I know that I have used tools like ChatGPT on my assignments. I really find that it helps to do things like look up sources or help with math problems that might take you a little long, but I wouldn't personally consider that cheating. Would you consider that cheating? Have you used these yourself?
I've never actually used ChatGPT or anything like it. I've definitely went on Google to help me kind of find my answers and what I want, but other than that, not really. If you're using it to help you flesh out thoughts, I don't consider it cheating. But let's move away from cheating for now, because love is in the air, and you can definitely feel it here on the Hill. The Artisans Valentine's Day Market was held on the first floor of the Downing Student Union on Wednesday. The market had many different Valentine's Day gifts for students to purchase for themselves or a significant other. Many small business from around the South Central Kentucky area, like Vet City Vintage, Lux Boutique, and other local stores gathered a big crowd to prepare for Valentine's Day.
This Valentine's Day is sure to take a hit on your wallet. According to the National Retail Federation, people plan to spend on average of $189. This is $3 more than the 2024 average. The total number of all sales is expected to hit over $27 billion. A survey suggests that the increase is due to more people celebrating the holiday. Popular gifts for this day include candy and chocolates, flowers, gift cards, and a night out with that special someone.
With popular gifts such as chocolate, you'd expect some sweet deals for the holiday, but the price you pay on chocolate this year might leave a bitter taste in your mouth. Experts say chocolate prices could increase about 10 to 20% from last year. The price of cocoa more than doubled in price at the beginning of 2024 and hit a record high in December. The cost of manufacturing went up over 167% within the last 2 years, and stores have raised prices in response. Ways to avoid the price hike include buying chocolate made with cocoa powder, since premium chocolate contains a higher percentage of cocoa.
Now joining us in the studio, we have Lydia Nathan, our Valentine's Day expert. Lydia?
Well, thank you all so much for having me on. It's been a minute, hasn't it?
I'm
so excited to be back. You know, Valentine's Day is obviously today. Love is in the air, so there's lots of things to do, big things to do. But do you all have any plans at all, or have you got any gifts?
I've got work.
Yeah, for me, Valentine's Day at the moment is a no-go. I will be going home, curling up in a blanket, watching a movie, enjoying my night. You do not have to worry about me today, lovebirds. Yeah. Trust me.
But for people that are going out, what
absolutely.
is kind of like the most popular Valentine's gift this year? What can maybe people go to stores right now and get as a last-minute gift?
For sure, absolutely. Well, last year, NBC reported that Americans spent $14.2 billion on this holiday, which is actually surprising. Well, I know that you all are talking about AI and ChatGPT. I did a little search myself, and a simple search on AI said, you know, personalized gifts, upgraded essentials, a little food and beverage combo there, tech gadgets and accessories, and luxury items like purses and wallets, and flowers and chocolates, of course. But NBC recommends, you know, skincare, face mask, a smoothie maker, maybe like a little cookbook or something that you all are wanting to do together. And back to those elevated essentials as well, wireless charging station, a silk pillowcase, of course, is extremely popular. I have one myself. And then, of course, also the smart coffee cup that keeps your coffee heated, because who wants to drink cold coffee?
Yeah, that would definitely be a gift for me, is a nice coffee cup just to keep it all heated.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, I know I should be the guy to have this question asked of me, but what do you think men want for Valentine's Day from a woman's perspective?
You know what? That is just that never-ending question. I can't figure out what my dad or my boyfriend wants for Valentine's Day either, so I had to do a little bit of digging. A survey conducted by Talker Research finds that men are more likely to spend more money on Valentine's Day than compared to women, which is 35% to 26%. So it's kind of a little rocky there. Another AI search, of course, quality time, personal and practical gifts, experiences, meaningful gestures. Cosmopolitan said that men are different. All men are different, and it varies what people want, of course, and that's with anybody. Some want, you know, baked goods, some want simple gifts, but they just encourage you, like, hey, what do you want for Valentine's Day? I think that leave it simple like that.
Definitely. I think my dad always gave my mom sort of a hint of like, I kind of would love to see this, you know.
I gotcha, for sure.
But another thing that I think a lot of people feel is pressure. So why is there that added pressure to getting gifts and getting flowers and going on dates for Valentine's Day?
Absolutely. I definitely think there is more pressure with Valentine's Day, you know, romantically, other than, you know, Christmas or maybe a birthday. Experts are saying this pressure comes from planning and splurging, and it's believed to be caused from societal norms and, you know, social media in comparison as well. A survey conducted by Talker Research said 1 in 6 couples find that this Valentine's Day is make it or break it. So if Susie or Bobby Q ain't doing, you know, what they need to be doing, ain't pulling their weight, then maybe they need to step it up their game a little bit. And so Nathan Larimore, a licensed therapist, said that, you know, if you're single on Valentine's Day, just try.
Thank you so much, Lydia, for your insight. Coming up, weather forecaster Nick Zrelak joins us for a full look at the weather.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What?
I can't drive.
Why? My. Oh.
Welcome back, Bowling Green. I'm your forecaster, Nick Zrelak, and as we look outside, it's about 38 degrees. The sun's out there shining. Winds are about 14 miles per hour. Bringing down that feels like just a little bit, but not much out there. What we got for you right now, it's about 40 degrees in the area, upper 30s all across the area. Just pretty constant temperatures out there right now. Not much going on. A couple of clouds moving in. That's a predecessor to what's to come tomorrow. And here's what we got for you. As you go into tonight through 11 o'clock, there's nothing except for clouds out there. So good day for Valentine's Day, hit the town, all that. You know, my apologies, y'all. As the rain comes through, we got rain coming in Saturday morning to start off with. There's going to be some heavy rain, so saturated ground. We may see some flooding in some low-lying areas. So turn around, don't drown, watch as you're driving, because this rain is going to continue all the way into Sunday morning, whereas that cold front comes in. We may start to see some snow showers all across our area from north to south. No, I wouldn't expect any accumulation, though, with those road temperatures being warmer due to tomorrow's warm temperatures. And as we go in, we got the love forecast for you to start off with. So you see a beautiful night tonight, some clouds, low 40s, you know, good night to go on the town, take the old lady out, you know. And here's what we got for you tomorrow. This is the story. We got some heavy rain, some thunderstorms, but we're going to hit about the upper 50s into tomorrow afternoon as a warm front starts to move in. A couple of rumbles of thunder, so turn around, don't drown, avoid those low-lying areas. As we could see, chance of rain tomorrow. It's going to happen Sunday. We're going to see some rain early in the morning, but that's going to clear out. And as we get into Tuesday and Wednesday, that'll be our next chance of rain into this week. Here's what we got for you coming up. We got
bring it.
Time out, guys. I'm late to dinner. My mom's gonna kill me. Catch you guys later.
Mom wants us home. Okay. Bye, guys. You guys need a ride?
Sure. Yeah. All right. How about some one-on-one?
I gotta go eat, man. Sorry, I'll see you later.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
From Warren East all the way to South Warren and all through the land of Southern Kentucky, high school basketball is a hot topic this time of year, and as district and regional play approaches, it is coming down to the wire in the 4th region, and for many teams, they take a look at their rosters and they wait for next season, but for others, they are now, and it's crunch time, and we're just now getting started. So let's take a look at some of those Tuesday night games from around Warren County. To start off, big girls game here for Morgan Thompson as she hits the three. And then the star guard, Madison Lawson, finds her sister for the absolute bucket. And then, once again, the layup is absolutely there, and she is looking so good on the court. But overall, the game was so close, Caverna had to take the timeout. Warren East, once again, finds another bucket from Madison Lawson, and then on the boards, Lydia Jones finds the absolute star of the show, and they hit the big three. Brooklyn Neville for the shot, and man, this game is just out of reach. And now Warren East gets the big lead, but once again, Madison Lawson kicks it out to her sister Kennedy for an absolute star-studded performance out of her, and then Madison Lawson gets recognition for hitting the big 1,000 points. Lydia Jones closed out the game for Warren East, and they are able to get the win 91-25.
The Raiders went to break their two-game losing streak, and the Colonels of Caverna on a four-game hot streak. And I mean, very great game. Let's see how this went. A lot of back and forth to start the game. As you can see, Cortavion Matty knocked down the three, and then number 5 walked in for the layup. The Colonels and the back and forth, as it was a great game by each team. But as you can see, things did prevail for the Caverna Colonels. The Steve Setcher was letting those guys know they're going to have to come through us just to win this. Brendan Bratch with the three, telling Crane, what you can do, I can do better. Russell Williams with the roof raiser tells us Raider fans, it may be the roof, but I'm raising it. And then after his teammate, as you can see from Warren East, hits a corner three. These guys are trying to put themselves back into this game right here. And then the punch, slam, roof raiser by number 24. And then the three right there to seal it, as these guys are no longer going to let Warren East Raiders get back into this game.
This week's game of the week featured the Cumberland County Panthers and the South Warren Spartans. And now let's take a look at those highlights and how the game played out. Although there was little action to start, Noah Woods was the big guy at first, and he is able to get the first points on the board for Cumberland County. If you look there, the rebound and an absolute amazing putback. But next, none other than Aiden Brandon hits the quick floater for Cumberland County, and now Cumberland County with an early lead. But you can see Bryce Button gets the ball to Raritan. Raritan drives it in. No good on the shot. The follow-up is good, and then you hit Bryce Button for the little shot, and it is an absolute wonderful little touch pass. And then once again right there, a name you heard all night, Harwood gets the big board and is able to put more on the board. And on the other side, South Warren guard Owen Shively drives to the lane for the blow-by for South Warren. Now South Warren stays closely in it, and freshman Brandon Perkin gets the layup here for the Spartans. Then Raritan thinks he has it. No good. Harwood blocks that right out of bounds. He had 3 total on the night. That one gets pump faked. That Hall puts 2 on the board for South Warren. And once again, dishes it out from Brandon Perkins right to Bryce Button for the easy shot. And as the game dwindles down, Cumberland County is able to put not just 1 free throw for the game winner, but 2 free throws as Byron Crawley able to close out the game. And this was a close one, but the Panthers will get the win 88-66. And LJ, it was an absolute wonderful week of high school basketball. And I think the main thing that we kind of got from this was the 16th district is strong. Like, they're looking really good. They're looking really strong. But so is the 14th. And I think it's really up for grabs as to who can come out on top. You see, Greenwood and South Warren have kind of struggled with this at first, but ultimately, you know, the 2 main ones, Bowling Green, Warren Central, they're at the top right now.
Exactly. And for the girls' part, I mean, Franklin Simpson is really, you know, carrying this region right now with a 21-2 record. As, I mean, what we have upcoming on Nets is really great. It's no question that the Franklin Simpson Lady Cats are the top team in not only the state, but the region of 4th. And upcoming, we have a journey on how 2009 it has been since they have won our regional title.
our coaching staff, they enjoy our atmosphere and our culture here at Franklin.
Inside these walls,
we call it building blocks. Build on from the day before.
there are plans to build a path to Lexington.
This year is really precious, which is why I feel like we're going to cherish it and we're going to go out with a bang this year.
But a road to Rupp Arena is 16 years in the making.
Our goal is to still go and win the region, but it's further this time as we want to get the state and we want to make a far run in state.
In Franklin, Simpson girls basketball hasn't been in a state Sweet 16 since 2009.
Great talk, great talk.
And that talk around Franklin Simpson is growing. The Lady Wildcats sit at first in the 4th region and hold the 5th spot in the state.
If we're having a bad game, you can't ever say that we aren't working hard. And I feel like that just describes us a lot.
But there's another word to describe this team.
I just want them to remember me as a dog, like somebody who's always getting after it. It's about having grit and being a dog, and that's been kind of embedded in our play, is to be a dog, be tough.
Coach Tremaine started that a couple years ago with them, talking about he wanted disciplined athletes with grit.
And now, this team of Lady Wildcats is full of dogs.
Sometimes the goal is to stop me from shooting threes, but once I see one go down, it's barbecue chicken from there, so.
They're only a couple of weeks away from the postseason, but this team
Look where you're at.
has their sights set on a run at history.
Coming up next, an excerpt from one self-published author here on The Hill.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
You gotta stop with that depression stuff. That's what white people think.
You all right? It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
You've done the hard part. You quit smoking. Now do the easy part and get scanned for lung cancer. If you smoked, you may still be at risk, but early detection could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
The Potter College of Arts and Letters continued their cultural enhancement series with a journalist and author Charles Blow. The event began with an intimate reception where professionals as well as students were able to have a personal conversation with Blow. Then he gave a speech in regards to Black Lives Matter marches, recent politics, and reverse migration. After the speech, he hosted a Q&A as well as a book signing.
Events are really important because they foster a different type of culture that might not be very seen on the campus of Western. It definitely causes people to think outside of the box, think differently than what they're normally used to. It also provides us into a look of people who play really big public figures in literature and arts. They provide just like a different type of perspective than we would normally have.
AKA chapter president Tylea Standard recently became an author. Standard recently released a poetry book, The Garden in the Art Museum. Reporter Allison Baugh and Megan Geisler got to sit down and discuss the new author's accomplishment.
The garden in the art museum, which represents so many different things. The garden to me was kind of a metaphor of peace, a place that I found safety, security, like a sanctuary where I wanted to write and I wanted to express how I felt, like a vulnerable place for me. And then the art museum related to how I wanted to be displayed and be a voice for people who didn't have a voice. So I kind of combined that and found myself being the garden in the art museum. Didn't really have an initial plan to write the book. I started off with small poetry that I wrote just kind of expressing myself, and from that point it turned into a full book. I use poetry as kind of like the way to express myself, to just release, and from there I started to realize that I was doing this consecutively, and then my uncle was like, you should probably form this into a book, and it kind of became this whole big idea of, okay, let me try to see if that's really possible. I feel like when I started this book, it not only had a different title, it had a different purpose almost. And as I got older and involved, it turned into something bigger than myself. So it changed a lot. When I wrote my poetry, there's certain poems that I wrote when I was 16 years old, and I went back and read it again, and it kind of felt like a completely different person. And when I got that feeling from my poetry, I was like, okay, that's one that's gonna stay, because even I can re-recognize what I wrote. When I turned 21, I realized that I was so young, but I had so much to say. And I feel like there's a lot of women that I've met through poetry, because I do a lot of spoken word for the school, and they have so much to say, and there's not a big push to actually say it or to be heard. And from that, I wanted to write this book and let other people know that, like, no matter what you say, small or big, however long it is, whether it's even just one sentence, it's important and it's worth being heard. I wrote multiple different poems about my sisters, and it not only let me get other perspectives from other women, it let me get feedback to people that related or didn't relate and how they did. It was terrifying to try to release it, and it took a lot of push from not only my friends, sorority sisters, my family pushed me to tell me that, like, even though it's extremely vulnerable, it speaks for someone, and that gave me enough safety and security to let it go. It's really so sentimental to me because of my grandmother. Knowing that she wrote so much poetry and she passed without being able to publish her poetry, it was definitely like this is something that I got to do for her. I want to feel comfortable, like a rose when it peels back its layers, revealing its soft petals to the world, comfortable enough for someone to witness my beauty bloom, to see the layers of me unfold, without fear, without hesitation, just comfortable.
If you want a copy of her book, you can buy The Garden in the Art Museum on Amazon. Now, Ashlyn, can you believe the amount of effort, creativity, and drive it would take to write a whole book all the way through school, into college, throughout college?
That's insane to me, because that's just not something that's a part of my life or a part of like what I want to do. So the fact that she did this while in high school and in college is insane. The class load has to be insane. And also it's so sentimental to her because she did it for her grandma. And it must have just been like such a wholesome, sweet experience.
And moving along, coming up, Nick Zrelak is back in studio for one last look at the weather.
And we'll see how extreme weather affected many states across the country.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Penny? Dude, I thought you were driving.
I thought you were driving.
Oh, I never said I was driving. I definitely can't drive.
If you're high, just don't drive. It's illegal everywhere. If you feel different, you drive different.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Okay. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Welcome back, y'all. I'm your forecaster, Nick Relic, and as we look outside right now, right now the temperatures are in the upper 30s, sitting around 40 degrees right about now, 42 down in Nashville, so some warmer air is going to start to move in. We're going to notice this tomorrow, especially as we look outside. Right now on the radar, the clouds are starting to push in a little bit further past Bowling Green, so that sunshine's starting to go away just a little bit. However, that's the predecessor about what we got coming for us tomorrow. And so here we go. Tomorrow is our main story. We've already got saturated soil. The river levels are high, so we have a small flooding event that could occur tomorrow. Some of the higher numbers of precipitation are trending to the further north area of our region. However, that doesn't mean we're going to see some heavy rainfall, some possible rumbles of thunder as a warm front moves into the area to about 7 p.m. tomorrow, where it's about 58 degrees. Now here's what we got for you as well. So 7-day rain. We got rain tomorrow, rain early into Sunday, where we may see a flake of snow or two in the early morning hours as the cold front passes through the area. So it shouldn't accumulate at all due to the high road temperatures that we're going to see, especially as we go through tomorrow with the warm front coming through. Now we'll see Tuesday, Wednesday, we see a slight chance for some precipitation, but that's going to come along with our cold weather that we've got coming in as well. So here's what we got for you. So today, 40 about 5 degrees, a little chilly out there. Saturday, we see that warm front move in with the heavy rain showers as those fronts set up, and then that cold front moves in Sunday as we get that chance of snow and ice in the morning, 39 degrees, and then as that cold air finally settles in, we look at about 34. We drop to about 29 degrees by about Wednesday. So it's going to get really frigid out there, so you're going to want to get that extra jacket as you move throughout your week this week. Back to y'all at the desk.
When
And next we will have some interesting insight on the weather.
We're calling it a parade of storms.
Tens of millions of Americans are under weather alerts from 3 storms hitting in a row.
This parade of winter storms is being driven by the upper level winds known as the jet stream.
Areas from Kentucky to the mid-Atlantic are dealing with inches of snow after the first storm began yesterday. Virginia State Police report hundreds of driving accidents and dozens of injuries.
We're back out putting salt and sand on the bridges and the overpasses.
Officials say ice on utility lines could cause power outages in some areas. It can even make walking treacherous.
Beginning of the year, we bought a whole pallet of salt, and this is our last couple bags we got.
Some in Virginia appear to be enjoying the snow.
This is a great sign for them. They love playing in the snow.
They're in for more of it. Forecasters say a second winter storm starting today will stretch from the plains to the northeast.
Thank you.
All right, sir, good luck.
They predict the third storm will bring heavy rain to California. That includes areas near Redding, still recovering from floods earlier this month. It also includes wildfire burn scars near LA that are now at risk of mudslides.
I do think we're going to lose additional properties on Thursday night.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Nick, this is kind of crazy weather that we're facing. Last night I got in my car and the ice on my car was insane. I had to sit in a parking lot for like 15 minutes while I waited for it to thaw. Should people consider getting like ice scrapers back out?
Yeah, I would maybe, especially as we go into this week now. The models are long out there, and there looks to be some snow maybe in the forecast later this week. So I would recommend getting those things back out, and that especially as we move and this cold front comes through on Sunday. So.
Alrighty, it's definitely going to be interesting. But when we come back, we will have an in-depth look at some recent confirmation in Trump's cabinet.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? My. Oh.
The Senate has confirmed Robert F. Kennedy Jr. as the U.S. Health and Human Services Secretary just yesterday. Kennedy was confirmed by a 52 to 48 vote. No Democratic senators backed him in the vote, and Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell was the lone Republican to vote against Kennedy. McConnell, a survivor of polio, has been outspoken against Kennedy and his views about vaccines. McConnell has urged all Kentuckians not to undermine the polio vaccine. Kennedy now oversees many health agencies such as the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and the Food and Drug Administration, as well as 80,000 employees and $1 trillion budget. President Trump swore Kennedy in himself in the Oval Office. This confirmation comes in right after another highly contested confirmation. Tulsi Gabbard.
Gabbard, yes.
She was
Tulsi
also.
Gabbard. Oh my goodness. The former Democrat. She was a Democrat just 4 short years ago. She actually put up support for Joe Biden's campaign. She was confirmed by a 52 to 48 vote after she switched over to the Republican Party in 2024. She is a former Democratic Party member from Hawaii. She is now going to be the first Pacific Islander to have such a high rank in the government.
That's insane. She also served in the National Guard, and she served in Iraq and Kuwait. So it's really interesting that she was highly contested for this.
Yes, I did see that Mitch McConnell did not vote to back her confirmation. He was the only Republican to vote no in her confirmation. He says he did this in regards to her views on Russia, her stances on foreign policy in Russia and China, and her support for former national security whistleblower Edward Snowden.
And this was the first time that he did that, and the second time was Robert Kennedy. But moving on to Brooke Rollins, who was confirmed as the Secretary of Agriculture Thursday as well. Rollins was the chief of domestic policy during President Trump's first presidency and has been confirmed with the 72 to 28 vote. So not that highly contested. She's pretty good. The position will oversee the nearly all of the nation's food system, Rollins did acknowledge Trump's mass deportations that could cause labor farm shortages. While she supports his plan, she stated she will do what she can to protect the farmers. So that is a major concern about stuff like this, is that there's a lot of labor workers in that farm that not from around here. So
yes, it seemed that this wasn't the most controversial confirmation, as obviously she kind of got it through in a landslide. There was a bit of a bipartisan vote there. She was actually a part of Trump's previous administration. 5 other people are also a part of his administration that he was able to confirm recently, including Linda McMahon.
Yes, and she is currently up for Department of Education chair. Her hearing is happening through these next few days. But back on to Brooke Rollins. She's also the president and CEO of America First Policy Institute, a group that did help build Trump's campaign for this second term. So that's very, very interesting. Now the last person, Pam Bondi. Let's talk about her for a little bit.
Oh, Pam Bondi, the former Attorney General from Florida. She was confirmed as Trump's pick for the United States Attorney General. She was actually Florida's first female Attorney General, working alongside Governor Ron DeSantis. She was on President Trump's legal impeachment trial team in 2020, so another familiar face for the re-elected president. Her confirmation vote was on February 4th, and it was another close vote, 54 to 46. The only Democratic senator to vote in her favor for confirmation was actually Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman. You know, the guy with the hoodie and the sweatpants all the time.
Yeah.
I guess he likes that she plans to be tough on issues like illegal immigration, where she's already filed a lawsuit against the state of New York for complying with sanctuary cities. They want to see an end to that, and so they're really pushing for new change as soon as they get confirmed.
Yes, and it's very interesting. Trump has kind of built his cabinet to be with people that support him, which is a good plan, a good strategy, especially if you want to get things done. It helps, you know, having people who are kind of like-minded and stuff. That is, unfortunately, all we have for these candidates. There are more to come, more confirmation hearings that are happening, but we will be back with Lydia Nathan to talk more about Valentine's Day.
Bring it.
Time out, guys. I'm late to dinner. My mom's gonna kill me. Catch you guys later.
Mom wants us home. Okay. Bye, guys.
You guys need a ride? Sure. Yeah. All right. How about some one-on-one?
I gotta go eat, man. Sorry, I'll see you later.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
To News Channel 12, we have got the whole crew here at the desk. Lydia, you have got some Valentine's Day trivia for us. Go ahead and hit us with it.
Okay, awesome. Well, no peeking, no cheating, you know the rules. Okay, so our first question, about how many roses are sent for Valentine's Day each year in America?
I feel like it's an insane amount. You know, like.
Give me something crazy.
Hit him with a number.
50 billion.
Ooh, that's
You know what, you're really actually close. It's 50 million.
50 million.
Yes,
okay.
you're pretty close. Okay, so here's the next one. Who invented the first Valentine's Day candy box?
Probably Russell Stover? Chocolate brand?
No, not quite. What do you think?
Probably the guys who made the M&Ms, maybe? I don't know.
No, you're very familiar with this candy.
Garibaldi?
No, Richard Cadbury. The
Cadbury. Like the Cadbury
eggs.
eggs. Yes, okay.
Next one. Letters to Juliet are sent to what city every year?
I do know this one.
Oh, you do?
Yes,
oh,
it is the
take a stab at it.
fair city of Verona.
Okay, I'm very impressed with you,
A little bit of
Ashlyn.
Romeo and Juliet knowledge
Yeah.
there. Okay, Shakespeare Jr.
Some
all
of
right.
us, some of us study Shakespeare a lot in high school.
Okay.
You know, that's part of the curriculum nowadays.
Yeah.
So, what notorious gangster orchestrated the St. Valentine's Day massacre?
Oh, this was
Al Capone.
Al Capone.
Yeah,
definitely.
you're right. Okay. From where was the oldest known Valentine's Day message sent?
Probably somewhere in Europe.
Possibly.
Let's say Italy.
No, think more of like a place.
Could it be Paris, France?
No, maybe not like a destination place, but like a facility.
A facility.
A facility.
Like a hospital.
A prison.
Oh.
Okay.
Very, prisoners like to send out their love as well, so that makes sense.
Yeah, hey.
When was the oldest known Valentine's Day message written? What year do you all think?
Oldest known? Give me a minute on this one.
Could you repeat the question for me one more time,
For
Leah?
sure, absolutely. When was the oldest known Valentine's Day message written?
I'm gonna have to go with. I'm gonna go pre-biblical. We're gonna go.
Okay.
Pre-biblical.
We're gonna go.
Wow.
We're gonna go 155 BC.
That's very early. Not that early though. Any other guesses?
I think that's too early.
I'm gonna say like the year like 1200 maybe.
Kind of closer.
What about? I'm gonna go more recent than these two have. What about like 1840 something?
And you're all wrong. 1415, which is actually kind of coincidental because February 14th.
Yeah.
Definitely. So what did Valentine's Day? Where did Valentine's Day originate from?
Saint Valentine, didn't it?
On the same concept, but like where did the concept believed to be originated from?
The concept of it. Oh.
I'm not 100%
Kind of a
sure.
tougher one, I know.
The concept. I mean, people love each other very
I mean,
much.
well,
They want to buy each other
there's
gifts.
that,
They want to do
there's
nice
that.
things for each other.
I
don't
feel
they?
like it might come from like Greek mythology, because like the
Yeah, okay.
Cupid, Eros,
Cupid,
he's
I forgot
You're
about
on the right
Cupid.
track there. You're on the right
Okay.
track. What about you?
Maybe Roman mythology then.
Okay. So actually, believed to have started from a Roman fertility, festival, which is really interesting. Okay. I'm counting on you, Ashlyn, for this
Oh,
one.
dear.
So what
That's
states,
a lot of pressure.
4 states have a town named Valentine in them?
I know that Texas is one of them.
Yes, and where are you from?
You would know that.
Where are you from?
I do live in Fort Worth, Texas.
Yes, exactly.
Well, I don't know every city in Texas. That's a lot. But definitely one of them.
Yes, okay. That's
What about
one.
We're gonna go Midwest here.
Okay.
Give me Iowa. Is Iowa
Actually,
one of
no,
them?
it is not.
I'm gonna say California's probably got a couple towns.
That would make sense, very on brand, but no.
What about Minnesota?
No.
Oh, goodness.
Florida?
No.
Come on now. All the baby boomers want to go down there and celebrate
Okay.
Valentine's Day.
Is it one of the
There's no way
Dakotas?
there's
Is
not
it
a place called
one of the
Valentine,
Dakotas?
Florida.
No. Okay, I will give you one starts with an A.
Arkansas?
No.
Alabama?
Unfortunately, no.
Arizona?
Alaska.
Arizona,
Oh,
yes. Okay. And so there are 2 more. Think Midwest
Oh, my goodness.
and also East Coast. 2 more.
West Coast, like Oregon?
And East.
Kind of like Midwest.
So like Illinois.
I don't think we're going to be able to guess this.
No, okay. Okay.
Do you have one more? Or-
Yes, I do have one more, but I will give you the answers.
We got-
Nebraska, Arizona, Virginia, and Texas.
Virginia.
Yes.
Virginia is for lovers, and I feel like I should have known that too, because I did used to live in Virginia.
Well, that's why I
World
said I was
traveler,
counting
you?
on you. I was counting on you, but that's okay. Okay, last one. What profession receives the most Valentine's Day cards?
What profession?
Ooh,
Yes.
Broadcaster?
One would think, where's my flowers?
That's what I'm saying.
I'm single, ladies. Come on.
Sports, like athletes, maybe?
No.
What about like a doctor? A lot of doctors work very, very hard.
I
They
get what you're
deserve the
saying.
love.
I get what you're saying.
I feel like it's gonna be something like really niche that you never hear of. I don't even know.
But unfortunately, that is all the time we have today.
It's going to remain a mystery.
Teachers.
That's a
Oh,
good
that
guess.
makes
But
sense.
thank you for tuning in today. And everybody,
Happy
happy Valentine's
Valentine's
Day.